Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Just wanted to take a quick moment, go over some of the more recent circulating news, and I want to start off with this article here talking about how PNC is actually the first US giant bank to start up using RippleNet for cross-border payments, and this is actually an article coming from Cointelegraph. Now, we don't really have to go too much into the article here. I think XRP Crypto Wolf did a really good job summarizing everything. What we can see is that PNC is the 8th largest bank with $400 billion in assets, and they become again the first US bank to start processing cross-border payments using RippleNet. Now, that's not using XRapid per se, but we are definitely seeing some activity, some movement happening with, again, PNC Bank. They did, I believe, establishing a partnership with RippleNet back in 2018. So this right here is really good news when it comes to, again, seeing them actually processing cross-border payments via RippleNet. And of course, the last bit of added summary here is that PNC Treasury Management is offering RippleNet cross-border real-time payments to commercial clients. So again, a pretty big move here, guys. You can take a quick look at this Cointelegraph article. Again, I think XRP Crypto Wolf summarized everything pretty nicely, but we are seeing more movement, more activity with a lot of these banks getting themselves immersed into the cryptocurrency space. And of course, with Ripple's primary target being banks and financial institutions out there, I think that we're just going to keep seeing more news, more announcements, and things of that nature when it comes to these banks just simply getting themselves onboarded with RippleNet. Now, the nice thing about this is if they're just simply using or utilizing RippleNet, and of course, maybe even just XCurrent, it at least gets them to the platform so that they can actually be readied when it comes time for XCurrent 4.0, which is at that point in time going to enable XRapid, or at least give that availability to those customers. So I think some big moves are definitely taking place, guys. And of course, again, we have PNC, the 8th largest bank with $400 billion in assets, again, becoming the first US bank to start processing cross-border payments. This is fantastic news. And of course, just big moves when it comes to these banks getting themselves onboarded with RippleNet. So let me know what you guys think about this information. A couple other things I wanted to quickly go over as well. This next bit of information is also coming from the XRP Crypto Wolf in a very nice summarized fashion. Basically, we have an article here that's been circulating for the last day or so, talking about how Japan's SBI to pay shareholders an interim dividend-like benefit in XRP cryptocurrency. So basically, now we're seeing that shareholders are getting themselves immersed into the cryptocurrency ecosystem by the use of XRP as far as a benefit and a reward. And really, the summarized version of this is that shareholders have to have 100 SBI holdings of shares or more to get 30 XRP. I know it's not a lot of XRP to start, but this is a very good move when it comes to shareholders, again, getting immersed into the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Now, the shareholders will have to open up an account with the exchange SBI VC Trade, so it is limited to those who are, again, SBI holding shareholders and those who can access the SBI VC Trade platform. So that is definitely something we have to keep in consideration, but the fact that this right here is a very nice start for shareholders to get themselves, again, immersed into the cryptocurrency ecosystem by being rewarded with none other than XRP. So very big moves there. Let me know what you guys think about this information. A couple other things I want to quickly go over as well. Now, this next bit of information here is absolutely fantastic and fascinating at the same time. Guys, we're seeing other cryptocurrencies besides XRP being processed on the XRP ledger. And of course, there have been other content creators out there, such as Alex Kopp, for example, who talks pretty in-depthly about this, seeing other cryptocurrencies being processed on the XRP ledger. And guys, we just got reference here as of yesterday that 200,000 Ethereum were sent across the XRP ledger in at least an hour's period of time. And of course, you have a lot of people responding to this, and people are wanting to see whether or not this information is legit. So the person who actually posted this tweet here, which happens to be Dev Null Productions, you can definitely give them a follow. They post a link here. As a matter of fact, we'll click on this link and try to give you an updated information on this. But this right here is information relative to the payments and value of the currencies being processed on the XRP ledger. You can see primarily it is XRP, but then you have a slew of other different types of currencies, including USD, but there is the Ethereum, and really the list just kind of shows you pretty adeptly there what has been processed through the XRP ledger. Bitcoin has been one of those just as well. So guys, really, the sky's the limit now when it comes to the XRP ledger, and my guess is that if this right here is as sufficient as it's being made out to be when it comes to being able to process other currencies on the XRP ledger, I don't think it's really going to matter at this point in time what you pick. The XRP is that bridge asset that's going to allow for the flow of those cryptocurrencies to process through, and they're utilizing that XRP ledger to do so. Now, of course, my suggestion, guys, if you want some more in-depth look on this, definitely follow Alex Cobb. Take a look at his most recent XRP daily post about this information, because again, he goes pretty in-depthly about this. But we are seeing other currencies being processed through the XRP ledger, guys, and I think this is just absolutely fantastic news. One last thing I want to quickly go over as well. Now, this last bit of information here doesn't really need a large amount of introduction or a lot of information pertaining to it, guys, because we've been all waiting for Bakkt to launch, at least for the custody service, and now at least we have some sort of date representing that. It looks as though the custody service for Bakkt should be launched on September 6th, and of course that's coming up relatively soon, guys. I don't think we're going to have to wait too much longer before we should see some sort of activity taking place in the ecosystem here. And my guess is why we're seeing a large drop in the price of a lot of your top performing cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. I believe it's still under $10,000 right now, is due to Bakkt being able to launch here relatively soon when it comes to their custody service. So that is something that has been rumored as far as why we're seeing a price drop. If you think of any other types of rumors you've heard or what speculation is pertaining to the price drop of all your cryptocurrencies out there, definitely let me know for sure. But I definitely think just as well that this right here is going to be one of those pivotal points where we're going to see a shift in the price of all your cryptocurrencies, primarily obviously Bitcoin, maybe even Ethereum, but at the same time, a lot of that money does trickle down to all your other cryptocurrencies following Bitcoin. So with Bakkt launching here relatively soon for their custody service, we might start seeing some more action happening in this entire ecosystem, this market, and hopefully we'll start seeing some more bull runs taking place leading to the end of 2019 going into 2020. But again, who knows? The sky's the limit at this point in time when it comes to a lot of this information. We've seen some crazy things happen when it comes to news coming out and not really having any effect on the price. Then of course we've heard some interesting information come out and it spiked the price of certain cryptocurrencies. So who knows exactly what's going to take place? I do think it's interesting the correlation between the price drop right now and of course seeing that the custody service for Bakkt should be launching relatively soon. I also did find out that when it comes to a lot of the Bitcoin futures, they should be ending as far as the recent contracts that were made. So that could also be a reason why we're seeing a price dip right now for Bitcoin especially. But again, a lot of speculation right now regarding what's happening, what's controlling these price points and making these movements happen. But outside of that, guys, if you have any other news that you think is actually pertaining to the cryptocurrency space here that is very important, let me know and we'll go over that just as well in another video. Outside of that, if you're new to this channel, please hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for being a part of this channel. Have a good day. Bye-bye.